the cases we litigate, we rarely see companies that have followed a defined software selection process. Instead, what we see are senior executives that have transitioned from another company that simply adopt the software that was used in their prior company without any investigation as to how that software is going to fit, if it's appropriate for the new company, if it has the functionality that the new company needs, or what the new company's business requirements are. Similarly, we will see that companies will forego a robust due diligence process, partly because they're pushed with a false sense of urgency by software vendors. Software vendors tell the company or the customer that they need to make a selection quickly, they need to make a decision fast, because certain percentage discounts on the list price of the software are going to disappear. The software salesperson needs to make their numbers, or it's the end of the year or the end of the quarter. And I can virtually guarantee you that not engaging in a robust software selection process, doing even a minimal amount of due diligence in favor of some large discount off list is going to result in more expense down the road than the cost savings that you're going to realize from whatever discount that they're giving you off of the list price. We will also see customers that will really be taken with, I would say, the sizzle rather than the steak of the software demonstration process. They will be blown away by shiny objects like artificial intelligence, generative AI, whatever it is, whatever the new shiny technology or technological innovation that the particular product has. They'll be leading with a technology focus first rather than a business requirements focus. And I think that really is a recipe for disaster. The key to this at all points through the software selection process is really to try to make informed decisions that make sense for your business. I think you want to take whatever the software vendor or the software salesperson is saying to you with a grain of salt. If they are telling you that this is an out-of-the-box software solution that requires minimum customization and that it has best practices for your industry incorporated into it, I think you really need to, have an understanding that somebody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, because I don't think that, best practices in the context of a software solution really exist. It's really whatever best practices that you implement in your business, those are your best practices. And so, to make decisions based on what your software salesperson is representing to you without, verifying them is a recipe for disaster. I think, to mitigate against that, it's imperative upon you, if you don't have at least, a robust software selection process in place, that you need to not only take with a grain of salt what they're telling you, you also need to check customer references, you need to do site visits, you need to do as many demonstrations as you can, and you need to ask as many questions as you can. You should have an understanding of what functionality requirements you need, what your business requirements are, where the gaps are between your requirements and the functionality. You need to benchmark the software ideally by other people that have used it within your industry. You should know how long an implementation process for that type of software is going to take and how much it's going to cost. All of these things are critical to digital transformation success. And if you're not doing these things, if you're taking the software vendor at their word, I think you're setting yourself up for disaster. And I will be getting a phone call from you, inquiring about what the litigation process is and how much damages you can recover from the software vendor. Instead, what I'd like to get is a phone call from you with any questions or issues that you have about what we've talked about. I'm certainly happy to walk you through the process, refer you to experts that we utilize with respect to software selection, and get you pointed in the right direction.